The buffs are out. My goat executor gets crazy deflex, dude. I've been fucking around with Night Rain, like of course intermittently with my education, of course. You know, gotta lock in on my classes, of course. But yeah, and I've also been I've been practicing the Everdark bouncers because it's a bitch in Deep of Night. Also, I've never seen that loading screen before. But yeah, I've been really fucking with Raider, and of course, you know, my Goatess Recluse, of course, is always amazing. But yeah, Raider's been doing good. I did some solo matches with him in Deep of Night. Like, it was pretty consistent. Now, Raider has gotten pretty consistent, especially look when you use fist weapons. Yeah, when you have a Star Fist with taking damage boost damage negation on Raider, I mean, why the fuck would I use his intended moveset, you know? Or his special moveset. You know? And look, you know, there's struggles too. Like, look, I lost on second day. I forgot who it was to. Killed... how do I fucking do this? What did I die to? Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. This run was so fucked up. I had, like, nothing. I had nothing, like... And Centipede Demon was a bitch. But then... Yeah, I mean, I killed Nameless King. And then, like, it was this dumb shit how I died to Morgott. Like, I was getting experimental, and getting experimental in Deep of Night is very risky. So he was doing the sword rain attack. He was about to throw it down, and I just smelt the crit, right? I knew the crit was coming, so I did like a charge attack with the fucking... I was using the cranial vessel. And he didn't get stance broken. I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm dead, here goes my free revive, right? So free revive hits, right? I get up, but as the swords are still raining down, I get stun locked in the middle of the swords because, you know, I was right where Morgott was. And of course, I'm not taking damage at first, but I'm still getting kept in this stun lock despite, you know, being a poised fucking tank character or whatever. And I got raped. I'll just say it. I got touched. I'm sorry if there's any rape victims watching this video. Okay, this is very insensitive of me to say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying that. I've been getting in the habit of using that language with my close friends. It's foul, I know. Not as foul as that tarnished. Ha! Okay. So, previously on my video journal, I think I just talked about, like, the, threesome shit. You know, of course. That was last semester, right? And then I think I had even said that, I had talked to her roommate about it at one point. Actually may have not. So we had the big final concert at the end of the semester, and I did really freaking good. I was so freaking good, right? Mastom Mastom is my favorite out of all the Middle East songs that we play. I'm in the Middle East ensemble, okay? Should I do... Yeah, I'll do a normal expedition. I'm going to keep practicing. And of course it'll make it easier for me to talk. Oh, and you know what? We'll play music for y'all because the Everdark Balancers music is really good. Let's see. Oh, I forgot I did that. I was pausing my Spotify for a sec. Alright. So, yeah, last video journal, I was, like, talking about how conflicted I was, and, like, I don't know, like, if I would take them up on the offer. Yo, if that was Deep of Night, I would have been dead. Or maybe the one-shot protection would have kicked in. Sometimes there's, like, one-shot protection. Like, random bouts of it, too. And only at really the start of the game, I realize. I don't know. Is it just me? Like, or am I just getting hit until there's a sliver numerous times for some reason? Oh, you fucking bitch. Okay, where was I? Yeah, I was talking to her roommate after our final concert. Very fun, by the way. It was very packed. We had a lot of people come. There was, like, probably over 100 people in the crowd watching us. And, you know, we banged that shit out. And then after the concert, I would go up to... I can't... I can't be saying names. I know if y'all have watched my first ones, I know I've let it slip a few times. But my violin instructor, I went up to her and like, again, thank you so much for helping me, like learn violin, because it means a lot to me, right? And it does, truly, it does. And I really wanted to thank her. Holy shit. Okay. What I learned, right, because this is practice, right? What I learned from that death was that I should not try and stay in the center of that shit. What? Okay. Another thing that I learned today, okay, look, I'm sorry, but I was browsing on Reddit. Okay, I'm actually gonna lock in on this attempt. I don't even care, bro. Yeah, I'm fucking goat. No pun intended. One thing I learned is that, like, even if an attack is, like, right behind you, if you're locked onto the enemy as Executor... Holy shit. Oh, I have ult. If I didn't ult there, I might have died. Because that fucking bullet was coming straight towards me. One thing I learned is that, like, say, for example, if I'm fighting the Red Wolf of Radagon, and he spawns, like, some glint blades, like, behind me, if I try and unlock and look towards the glint blades to deflect it, it won't deflect most of the time, right? What the fuck? What happened? Ah! I should not have R1'd there. Oh my god, what am I doing? My friend invited me to a party, but I'm low-key doing a video journal right now, so... Okay, I'm learning a lot. And if I was in Deep at Night, I probably would never try and slime out Libra night 1. Or I might. He just takes up a lot of time. I think I would rather do it at, like, level 5. So... two things I learned. Yes, I was browsing Reddit. I know. How dare I? Sorry, fuck. Yeah, you fucking bitch. God. Okay. That was all of my day 1. Where did my runes go? I hope I picked them up. What? Oh, I did, and I had 0. Okay. I'm not even fucking lying. Dude. So... okay. I need to lock it. Okay, these shits will genuinely one-tap me. I'm not even lying. Okay. My past 2 runs. You saw those 2... practice runs that I did on Everdark Bouncers in, like, normal expedition mode. I literally got the Caligo invasion those 2 times. I don't know why this shit is so common. Like, I don't get the RNG in this game. And look, I'm not mad. I'm just morbidly curious. Or, I don't know, I'm, like, mad. I'm performing right now. I'm pretending that I'm mad. I should be looking for crystals. Was that a crystal down there? Fuck. I forgot. I have to look for crystals. Also, interestingly, when you kill Libra, it doesn't say, like, oh, you killed him on, like, the map. Which is weird. Okay, anyways, you know, I had thanked my violin instructor. Okay, I'll spin back for this guy. I'll spin back. I'll spin back. I'll spin back. Yo. Yo! Yo! Dude, I didn't think this invasion would be this, like, damaging outside of Deep in Night. Like, honestly, I think it does less damage during Deep in Night. Like, I'm not even joking. That's one crystal. And originally... Oh, shit. If it calls for the hail, I'm gonna go to that thing. Oh, we're chilling. Okay. So, fuck, what... I have so many conversations going on at once. I was browsing Reddit. I know I was talking about the roommate before, but bear with me. I was browsing Reddit. I saw a post on r/Nightring, right? Pretty much the only reason I go on Reddit is for, like, Nightring. And, you know, sometimes it's for pornography. I won't lie, you know, I am a 19-year-old, right? I'm a virgin. So, of course, I mean, it's not like it's obvious. Like, you know, some people don't do that shit, but I personally do. Right? Holy fuck. Anyways, I was browsing Reddit. It's not TMI because this is my journal. It's not TMI, it's not TMI. If that was Deep in Night, I would have been dead. Shit, what am I fucking talking about? That post. It was an executor post. And it was, like, explaining some executor, like, deflecting tips. Like, because, you know, deflecting's become sort of mainstream now. And so, two things that they pointed out. The first one I already knew, being that, oh, fuck. Being that... What were the two tips? Holy shit. I know the first one. Okay, I won't try and say this conversation the optimal way. I'll just go as I remember it. So, one of the tips was, like, they were fighting Fulgur, and it was an example, and it was saying, like, you have to stay a distance away. Like, if you're right underneath them, you're gonna get dead angled. Which is something that, admittedly, that I already knew, right? But they gave another tip, and I can't quite remember what it was. I mean, one of them was, you know, don't stay directly under their ass, otherwise they're gonna dead angle you. Like, the hitboxes go over your deflection. Even if it hits your deflection, sometimes it'll just go through it if you're in, like, some wonky positioning. I don't know, it was something weird. They had, like, frame data, so I believed it. Holy shit. Everdark Bouncer Relic is... Okay. Something I've learned... Some projectiles you can't, like, get the auto deflects on. Like, sometimes you have to... Okay. It's the same shit with, like, the divine bird feathers that those bird guys have. You can, like, deflect one of them, but, like, it goes through your block for all the others. Yeah, give me my L2. Okay. Okay, we can't deflect those. I kind of like normal expeditions because I can, like, kind of fuck around. Oh shit. Alright. I don't know. I just saw some deflecting tips, and I thought it was actually really neat. They gave like a lot of good tips. God. Okay, back to the fucking roommate conversation, because I obviously can't remember. So, Rise to Go, as we know, okay, I said her fucking name. I think I've said her name so many times just because she's like freaking amazing. But, they go by any pronouns. They don't really give a fuck. But I always feel awkward whenever I say, like, she. Because, I don't know, whenever I say it, the roommates kind of look at me like, you know, like, it's like, oh, and they've even, like, elaborated on it, like, oh, like, you know, like, they do go by any pronouns. It's just like, you know, they never said she. They don't really say she. I don't know why. I don't know. It's a little weird. I'm indifferent. I am indifferent, okay? So, let's see. And honestly, like, I can sort of understand, like, okay, let's talk about pronouns for a second. I know pronouns in 2026, like, it's incredibly normal thing, right? And I am completely fine and complacent and totally cool with pronouns. I don't give a fuck, okay? Like, in a good way. I don't give a fuck in a good way. Like, you can be whatever you want. Like, and I know, look, as a psych major, I understand that, you know, gender is a spectrum. Gender is a spectrum. And sometimes the sex you're assigned at birth does not align with, like, what you're socialized into believing, like, for men and women, for example. And I know there's a bunch of others, but, like, just for the ease of talking about it, let's just say men and women. And maybe you don't feel aligned with man or woman when you were the opposite, because you were socialized into thinking you are the other, or that you're neither, when in reality, gender isn't supposed to sort of signify any traits, you know? A woman could, I mean, look, the only, like, biological traits that you have for gender is, of course, the body you're given. You have a uterus if you're a female, you have a dick if you're a man, right? And of course, there's, like, those, like, disorders where you spawn in with, like, both, or sometimes none, you know? And that's called intersex. Hence the word sex, because sex is what you're assigned at birth, but gender is all in your head. It's like what you think you are, right? And I don't even care, right? I'm a guy, right? I think I'm a guy, and look, I'm not a typical guy, right? I have just been socialized at birth. Where the fuck is the curse blade? Okay. I have been socialized at birth to think I'm a guy, like, gender-wise. Right? Now, I have been told, as a kid, growing up, boys have penises and girls have vaginas, right? But in modern times, and, you know, maybe this has always been the case, and I'm just now, like, you know, when you learn about, I started learning about this shit when COVID rolled around. It's sort of when it became prevalent for me. And, you know, basically, okay, let me get to my point. I've met some people who go by she, they, or he, they. And when I asked them why, when I was a curious little kitten, they would tell me that they know that, like, say, let's take the she, they, for example. This girl I knew. And she was like, you know, she knows she is a woman. Her sex is that of woman. But her values and such, and, like, she doesn't really feel like a girl. God, this is really hard to explain all of a sudden. Like, she, like, oh, man, I wish I could pull up the text, but, like, our conversation history is, like, eradicated. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there's the crystal I missed. How many do I have? I think I have 2. And I can never remember if solos only need 3 or not. Let's see. But yeah, it was something like, you know, she knows she's, like, a woman, but, like, you know, she just kind of feels like, you know, in this sort of, like, ether, you know, like, man, that's, like, really the only way I can really describe it. She like, what? Where's my crystal? I thought it was here. Is it downstairs? I'm scared to jump. I don't think there's anything down there. Oh. What? Twin! Where's my crystal? Am I retarded? Is it invisible? Am I tweaking? Okay, I'm gonna clip this and... Oh, I can't clip it. Well, I'm recording. So, let's just find another fucking crystal or some shit. Oh my god, I'm wasting so much fucking time. What the fuck is that shit? It says there's a crystal! I think I might know where it is. Look, we're gonna go downstairs. I don't give a fuck. If I die, I'm gonna scream. The map says there's shit down there. I don't know. Oh! Wait! Oh my god, I'm already downstairs, twin. Holy shit. Oh my god. It's above me. Get the fuck away from me. Holy shit. Okay, we learned. This is why I wanted to do the fucking Great Hollow, because I still feel like an idiot whenever I play this map. Like, I can play it, but holy god. Oh, he's charging up, isn't he? I'm gonna get zapped by this geometry somehow. Ooh. Holy pole. So it's down there. Holy weave. Okay, I was just too scared to kill myself there. It's right here, isn't it? I'm gonna tweak. This map lies to me. Oh, you're not dead. So, something is occurring. Something is happening. Yo. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna vent my anger on this hippo. Its eyes are so ugly. God bless the relic. Okay. But, man, back to pronouns. Okay, I guess, I haven't really found a lot of loot, I guess. If I was in Deep of Night, this would be very bad because I wouldn't have any, like, damage negation. Man, what would I do in a Deep of Night situation? I don't even know. Like, solo Deep of Night. When I'm playing with people, it's not so bad. I think solos used to be the easy mode, and for normal expeditions, it definitely is. But, in Deep of Night, I find solos, in a lot of ways, it's harder than trios, because you make a lot more mistakes. I know you're here, bro. Okay, so they're not like the normal nobles. What the fuck am I doing? Okay, get the crystal. And I literally saw it with my eyes on the way here. So it should not lie to me. Holy god. Please break. Okay, so I think you only need 3 in solos or some shit. I don't... That is so odd. Is it a glitch? Is that like a glitch or something? Where like it shows you crystals, but it's for a different seed or something, you know? Like, I don't know, bruh. I think it's quicker than this. Okay. Back to the she, they. So, I mean, I've heard explanations of why some people choose their pronouns. For example, that she, they, she knew she was a woman, right? You know, she, you know, tits, well, ass is not unique to women. Like, she had tits, and she had a vagina. So, she knew that she was of the woman category in terms of sex, but in terms of gender, she felt a little more, like, nuanced. That's the word I was looking for. She felt nuanced, right? And I could totally get that. TBH, you know? I totally get that, you know? And I don't even mind. And look, for any pronouns, even ones that I don't even understand, like, I don't care, right? I genuinely don't care. So, but let's take another person, for example. I know this person named, her name starts with a V, so I'll just say V. Their name is V. They go by any pronouns. They say that they go by any pronouns, so I could call them he, she, they, whatever the fuck. I could even go they if I wanted to. I don't even know. You know? I still only have a gray katana and a shield. Yo. Thank you, Gank AI, for sparing my soul. Ugh. Those L2 parries are hard, man. Yo. Yo, lock on. Yo. That was kind of tough. Please die. Get off me! Okay, I'm learning a lot right now. Pardon? Fucking, what is this plot armor, twin? Yeah, I hear you, twin. That's not a punish. See, I did learn. If you rewind that shit by like 30 seconds, you'll see that I learned that combo. Alright, let's see what I got. More of that. Now, I need more loot. Okay. Yeah. They go by any pronouns. And they clearly explained it to me. This one is a lot easier to understand than the she, they one, I guess. But, they said, like, they know that they were born a biological woman again. They told me that, right? And everyone that goes by any pronouns may not share that same sentiment. I do realize, you know. They may, like, think they're genuinely, like, you know, none of the above, you know. But Viola said that she goes by any pronouns for both convenience and, for, like, you know, they feel like they're pretty much anything. She does not care. Which I think is really cool, honestly. I think it's cool. I'm scared I'm not going to kill all the bosses here. When I could have been getting loot at the castle. Alright, so it does not hit you. What I learned from there is that it won't hit you on the initial swing. Man, I really got to get the timing on the L2 parry. Nice. Good job, dudes. But yeah, that's sort of like the gist. And then I've even heard of... There was this experience I will never forget from high school, right? Okay, well, there's my loot. This is an experience I'll never forget from high school, but I knew someone, it was very complicated, but I knew this person who went by Zay Zem. right? And from that point onward, like after like we kind of stopped being friends, they kind of just like left the friend group, not for any like sort of like disrespectful reason. Well, long story short, they read like rape books and stuff, and no one in the groups really liked that. I don't know. Yes, I'm looting. I need a dip. I need a dip. Ooh. Okay, we're chill. So, yeah, they went by Zayzem. But when they were in the friend group, right? Like, you know, when we didn't know about like them reading like the rape comics, like they bought that shit like Barnes and Noble. We just found it like weird. I personally don't even care, but at the time, when my friends cared about it, it made me care about it. Since then, I'm not as vulnerable to peer pressure. Like that stuff, I've become a lot more open-minded as I've matured since high school. I was like 16 at the time, and now I'm 19. You know, you learn a lot in 3 years. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you do learn a lot. You learn a lot. Like, okay. Quick tip, gang. If you're in your senior year of high school, you probably there's a chance you feel like an adult, right? You feel like, you know, you are an adult. You are not. There's a reason why the age of consent is 18 and not 16 like Japan, okay? Because once you like start going to university or go into the workforce, you realize real quick that, you know, shit ain't as sweet as high school. In my opinion, I fucking love university. I've been loving my time here. But there's definitely, you learn a lot, you know, like adjusting, you meet all sorts of different kinds of people. Like, even though I already had a plethora of people I met in high school with, you know, various pronouns and, you know, introducing me to that sort of social life, you know, of like, you know, we're cool with this, right? So, you learn a lot, okay? And it may not just be like, paying taxes or whatever. Like, you know, your brain develops up until you're like 25, and from that point onward, it still continues to grow. So, just keep that in mind. But I yap too much. Yeah, shit, what was I talking about? The pronouns. Right, Zayzem. Yeah, Zayzem. So, not a lot of people would know what Zayzem is, and to be honest, from their explanation, I still don't really know. Because what was funny, which is why I won't forget it, which is why I think there's nuance with people who, like, say they have pronouns. Like, I think there's people that performatively have pronouns, I'll say it. Right? Because they told me, like, I went like, oh, like, okay, so, like, what does Zayzem mean? Because I was a curious little kitten, right? Oh, shit. I was a curious little kitten. And they said, like, oh, it's just sort of like, it's, and they just kept, like, going, like, So, like, I kind of got the idea that they didn't really know what it was. And then eventually they pooped out an answer along the lines of, like, you're a boy, but you're not. Like, you're a guy, but you're not. It's like he, him, but it's like, they said neo-pronouns. And I, to this day, don't really know what neo-pronouns means. I don't know. I think of it, like, the impression that I got is that neo-pronouns is just, like, you're kind of unsure of what you are. And I'll just leave it at that. Like, you're something, right? But they were still a cool person. They were still a cool person. Don't get me wrong. Besides the rape comics, okay? Like, that was weird. And I feel like I could still be friends with someone if they like shit like that, I guess. But man, like, are we for real? For real? Like, you get off to that kind of shit? And they also, like, they had stalked me. They, like, had a photo album of pictures of just me, and it said, like, the photo album was named, like, Nick or some shit. Oh, well, there's my name. God damn it. I'm gonna learn how to edit, so, I don't know. Fuck. Whatever. No one watches this shit. No one will know. Ooh, whoa. Stop trying to frame trap me, gang. Dead angled. Alright. Yeah, okay. The gank AI is not normal. Boy. Boy. Okay. Get out of my lobby. Ooh. I hit the L2 parry there. Do you see that? Holy shit. Okay, enough of the pronoun shit. I need to get back on track because this run's gonna end soon. Yeah, we were... Okay. Catch you up on my violin instructor now. I'll catch you up on my violin instructor. Threesome, whatever. We remember that, right? She invited me to a threesome, but apparently... what her roommate was saying, we were talking after the concert, and I was saying, like, you know, Rise to go, you know, I kind of trusted her, so I'm like, you know, hey, this has sort of been eating away at me, you know, like, what did she mean by that, you know? And she goes, like, oh, like, I heard her and her girlfriend, like, talking about it, and, like, apparently, like, she was really embarrassed, you know? I mean, look, anyone would be embarrassed if they invited someone to a threesome, and if they reacted like I did, where they're just, like, speechless. That's embarrassing. Right? And also keep in mind, Rise to go is Arrow Ace. So, she might not be privy to, like, sexual knowledge or whatever. I don't know, maybe... She could even be covering for her. I don't even know. But, she was telling me, like, oh yeah, she's really embarrassed, right. You know, she didn't really mean it. And I did tell her, in Vino Veritas, homegirl, you know, home friend, right? Like, a drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. We must remember this truth, right? Now, look, I think it's very possible that, okay, like, here's how I think, like, the process went. So, like, subconsciously, like, in her normal state of mind, in her sober state of mind, maybe she thought I was, like, just good looking. Like, maybe she thought I was, like, handsome or some shit. Like, maybe she thought I was cute, right? I never know how to dodge this. Okay. But, you know, in Vino Veritas, you know, and what I think that process was that she just sort of was like, hey, this guy's, like, just cute, you know? But, like, look, you can respectfully think someone just looks cute. I'm gonna say it. Like, if I was in a relationship, right, I love my girlfriend, right? You know, I absolutely love my girlfriend. If I see a girl and, like, she just looks cute, I mean, in my head, I'm gonna think, okay, she looks cute. And of course, my girlfriend is infinitely cuter and hotter and more amazing in every way. But, you know, I just feel like I would look at someone and go like, hey, they look cute, you know? But, like, I won't mean anything by it. It's just a simple fact. It's sort of like, look, it's similar to, like, me as a straight man thinking, oh, shit. That one always gets me. Okay, I'm getting my 3 deal. Make you hit detection. Here we go. Shit, what was I saying? So, yeah, it's like me as a straight guy going like, hey, that guy's cute, you know? Like, look, I can objectively think someone looks good, right? And maybe she just thought that. That's what I'm saying. Maybe she just thought I just looked cute, right? Now, I don't know if that's the truth. You know, I don't want to, like, blaze myself or anything. Okay, I think the only moves I don't have down in this fight are, like, the worm just fucking bitching around and the slam attack that the blood ones do. Like, when they're slamming it down. Oh, shit, I'm not paying attention. Let's see. What was I saying? I might try and endure through it. I'm gonna see, like, how much damage you take when you endure. Because I lose, like, a third of my health. Okay, you fucking hoe. Oh, yeah, I do. Away from me. I'm gonna see if I can. Alright. So, I don't know, maybe she subconsciously thought I was, like, objectively cute or something, right? And it was just that. But when she was drunk, you know, maybe that got amplified to just offer me a threesome because, you know, she's just loose-lipped, you know, she's just like, oh, you know, she's, you know, he's cute, and, you know, he just talks about him being a virgin, and I'm a nice person, so I'm gonna offer him a threesome. Like, look, for a drunk person, that's about as easy as it gets. Okay, I'm not gonna kill him. I don't know how I would do this fight if I wasn't executor, because dodging that is so weird. I genuinely think, like, triple executor is, like, the meta on this fight or some shit. It's like, genuinely, how did you, like, dodge all this with your DPI frames and recovery frames? Boy, get out of my lobby. How much time do I have left? 18 minutes. Wow. Okay. So, that's what I think really happened. Like, that's what I believe. But look, maybe she is not, like, maybe she doesn't even think I look cute. Maybe she thinks I'm, like, average or, like, stupid, you know? But, like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she's a very sexual person. Maybe she's got a thing for virgins. I don't know. One of my friends suggested that. But yeah. Yeah, that's sort of like the recent shit. Like, I mean, that was the shit from last semester. What's happened this semester is that we finally swapped violins. And when I went over to her place, it was very brief. She looked like she just got out of the shower, which was concerning. But, you know, nothing really happened. We just swapped violins, and I'm like, hey, thank you again. Like, you totally could have just sold it to me. Like, I really appreciate, like, your generosity. But then, you know, as I was saying thank you again over text, like, later that day, she texted me the following. Now, I'm going to pull it out on my phone. And I'm going to read it to y'all, word for fucking word. Alright? Now, I could just be crazy. But I said, hey, I left the second rosin in my case because I assumed I was going to get the other one. She let me keep the case that her violin she wanted back was in. Which I'm very thankful for because it's very, like, old school and you have to, like, tie the violin in. It's very awesome. So I said, like, accidentally left the second rosin in my case. Like, I can give it back to you, like, at our next rehearsal. And she told me, like, oh, you know, it's whatever, right? Like, honestly, you can keep it. It's pretty shitty. So, whatever. And then, I had also, said, like, you know, thank you again. Thank you so much for... Okay, here's the word for word. Here's the word for word. What time should we swap? And will it be at your place? Ari still hasn't gotten back to me. For context, Ari is a dude that I know that sells bows, and he's very local, and you have to go to his house to buy the bows. And it's so nice. It's in, like, a very beautiful part of where I live. And then she goes, yeah, it can be at my place. I have rehearsal at 3 p.m., so if you wanted to stop by before 2:30 p.m., that works. Or I can let you know when I get back later. And that's fine. You can keep using that bow while you're borrowing my instruments anyways. It's just something to keep in mind. Very, very nice of her. And I said, I can come get it and swap it one so we can get it out of the way. And she said, sure. And I said, I'll probably stop by Ari's place this week at some point whenever he gets back to me, haha. And she goes, cool. And then, I went over to her place, got the violin, and then now I'm saying, thank you so much for giving me the violin. By the way, I really appreciate it. You totally could have just sold it to me. This is all word for word. Yeah, NP, I mean, I still might ask for something in exchange for it at some point. But if we're still meeting every weekend-ish, I figure we can talk about it and figure it out. Now, that is the glaring red fucking message I wanted to tell you guys. Yeah, no problem. I mean, I still might ask for something in exchange. She could have just said, like, I'll probably have you pay me at some point if she was talking about money, but she's talking about a little something. A little something. Right? And I said, that sounds good. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And then, after I said that, she goes, I just am more okay with you keeping this one over breaks and stuff than the one you've been borrowing, if that makes sense, ... And I say, that makes sense, I get it. Oh, and I guess this was like before I headed over, and then I said, I'll be over soon. She hearted the message, right? So, yeah, just a little something, something, a little something, something. So, I don't know what she's going to ask of me. I do owe her big time because, look, violins can go for over $1,000 and bows can be like $100 and rosin in the case and the fucking everything, right? That can be very expensive. Not to mention getting lessons, right? Or learning, She has accelerated my learning and helps me pick it back up, like all my memories from elementary school and whatever. What she's given me is very invaluable to me. Very, like, it's almost like priceless. Like, not priceless, but like, she did me so good. Like, for free! And yeah, look, I, like, made her monkey bread once and, like, some cookies. But, like, dude, like, that is insane. Like, that she would do all that for me. And so, when she says, I should do a little something, something for her to make amends for it, look, if it's something sexual, look, I'll probably do it. But look, if it's not and she's normal about it, I don't care either. It's not like I'm dying for sex or anything. Like, I just think, if she really wanted me to, like, I don't know, eat that pussy or some shit, eat the cookie, like, bro, I'll do it. Like, but if she wants, like, me to bake her something, I'll fucking do that too. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'd probably do whatever she asked me to do, unless it was, like, murder someone. I'm not doing that. Or, like, commit a crime. Like, do something that goes against, like, some deep virtues. Like, if she wanted me to hit a pen or something, like, she wants me to smoke, fuck no. She wants me to drink, fuck no. Right? So, I don't know. If it damages my health, I'm not doing it. But, I mean, dude. Plus, she's cute, so, I mean, there's also that. So, there's also that factor that's playing into it. But also, I owe her big time. So, yeah. That's the recent shit that's happened to Violin Instructor. We've been doing rehearsals, with the Middle East Ensemble. It's been great. There's some new songs that we're playing. Fucking bangers. There's one called As If I Were Enchanted. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, I should probably get off my phone. Because, give y'all something to look at. Even though I'm not going to be doing much. This is my build, if you're wondering. I was just using the basic, like, these are all guaranteed relics, even this one. I forget where you get it. Could be like the signboard or like the bazaar shop. Oh, this relic. Chef's kiss. But yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's something else. Yeah. I'll try and keep this one brief. But I don't know if I've talked about it or anything. Wait, let's see the relics. It's probably the signboard. I really want to know, because I'm like, I know it's a guaranteed relic because I see other people running it. Ah! It is from the signboard. It is from the signboard. Okay. Yeah, let's just get a little scenic view going. Ooh, what emote should I do? We'll do this one. So, something else. This is like the last little bit of drama that I've sort of had. So, I had this friend named Maria. She even has my YouTube channel. She has my freaking video journal. So, now that I'm thinking about it, she might actually, like, see this and listen to this. Oh, and before I talk about that, I do want to say I got this amazing job over the summer in the Durango, Colorado National Forest, where I'm going to be working as a zipline sky ranger. And I'm very fucking excited because it's in these cabins, and it's so beautiful, and I'm such a big nature person. Like, oh my god, I think I'm going to fucking love it. And I think the air quality is going to be even better than where I am, even though it's already like pretty good. Like, there's going to be no cars, there's no roads for like tens of miles of the property. And if you want to get into town, you have to take a train that swings by the property. It is so cool. But I'm very scared. More on that. I'll probably touch on that more in a future video journal when I receive more news about the job. I just know that I'm like one of 15 employees, so I'm like the only new hire. I'm very scared. I'm going to do my best. But yes, back to the Maria stuff. So I've been friends with Maria since middle school, and we've always sort of been there for each other. I was there for her lows, and she's had so many like awful boyfriends, and I always feel so bad because I'm like, this is such a bad representation of my sex. And man, like, we were friends for so freaking long. And she was so cool. And we originally met through like an online group chat. Keep in mind, this is an online female friend, right? And she looked a lot like, like this like ethereal e-girl sort of vibe, she always had this like not existing sort of aura sort of thing going on, which was very cool. Back to the topic at hand. We've been friends. She was there for me when I was at Milo, with like Jessica and all that. She was the she-they I was referring to, by the way. That's where I learned about that stuff. Where I was kind of getting introduced to that stuff, like when I was a little kid. We had met in like middle school. But yeah, Maria and I met in an online group chat, and I originally reached out to her because some guys in the group chat said, "Oh, she sent me nudes. Like, oh, Nick, you should talk to her." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I go and talk to her, and like I like joke around a little bit, but being the little shy little like respectful bitch I am, I'm not gonna ask someone for nudes, right? So we just kind of started talking, and I'm like, "Oh, she's actually kind of cool," like and that's where it started, and we just were friends for a very long time. She confided in me a lot. She has a lot of mental health issues. She was pretty suicidal. She had like bouts of it. Like some days, like she would just be in a good mood, and some days she'd be like drunk and texting me and like, "Oh Nick, like I love you." Like, and of course I always took it platonically. Even though I admit when someone tells me they love me, my heart aches. Like, because even when I know it's platonic, because it's like, don't toy with me, like stop it. And there was a time, like I remember like freshman year, or like I don't know, I don't even remember, like I was still like talking to Jessica, but Maria was like cute to me at one point because she was the only person to kind of just keep telling me that she loved me, even though I knew it was platonic, because she had a boyfriend while she was telling me that. But I'm not even lying, like it would genuinely, like it would make my heart flutter. I won't even lie. It's not something I'm told like ever. So whenever she would say it, it's like, don't toy with me, but also like I'm very excited. Anyways, sorry, that's weird. It's not weird. Whatever. Anyways, How much time? Ooh, I got 5 minutes to explain everything. So, anyways, fast forward like all the way to like this semester, right? And we talk almost the whole time. Like, I don't know, we have bouts of like just not talking to each other much, kind of giving each other like some space or whatever. Like, honestly, like I'm not good with talking online very much. I've become like more a little rooted in real life, I guess. Even though some of my best friends are online. Like D1 Storshin, from one of my first video journals. We like talked and stuff. But anyways, besides the point, very recently she got a new boyfriend. This is like boyfriend number like 5, right? And all the previous ones have been assholes. This boyfriend she got is like middle-aged again. I don't know what her deal is. She is 18 years old, and she is always getting with these much older men. She must have a thing for them. Look, I don't care, right? So I give her shit. I gave her shit for it, like one, because like they were creepy old men, not just older men. They were so weird, right? But this one, I mean, I didn't know too much about this guy, so I'm just like, okay, like, cool. Like, what do you like about him? Tell me about him. Whatever, right? It's just, another boyfriend. And, she would just like, we talked about it for a bit, and then there's some other conversation, reels and whatever, and then fast forward to winter break as of like last month. It's only been like a month since this has happened, and it hurts. But she texted me, hey, I broke up with him. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, she must be so like down right now. And she was telling me like, yeah, like we had broken up. Here, I'll pull up the messages. God, I have 3 minutes. There's 3 minutes. Where are the messages? Honestly, I might not even be able to see them because... No, I can see them. Okay. Here we go. So the conversation started with screen recording after she said we broke up. And I said, the new BF? And I said, yes. And I said, also screen recording? Question mark. And she said, accident. And I said, okay, fair. And I said, damn, you were in and out of these relationships, girl. She said, that's crazy. Why didn't you respond to me? And I said, question mark. And she said, when I told you I had a BF. And I said, I did. What the fuck? And she's, oh, I forgot. Anyways, I start going like, so why'd you guys break up? And she responded with, I miss you. And I'm like, I'm right here, girl. And she goes like, I just like you for real. And I said, are you hacked? You talking like a bot? And she goes like, no, I'm just retarded. And I'm like, okay, like you're still with us. Like, she's being funny. And she goes like, what do you think of me? I said, are you testing me in front of your boyfriend? She said, no, we broke up. But I don't want to delete my shit yet. I said, why'd you guys break up? She goes, I lied to him. And I said, you lied to him? She said, yes. And I said, okay, let's call. And she said, no, I'm sobbing. And this is very odd. Oh God, I have 1 minute and 45 seconds. It's very odd because she's called me sobbing before. So I'm like, maybe this is just something different. So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. She said, I need answers. And I said, okay. She said, I just don't want to be single. I said, Maria, I think you're cute and the most devoted person I know, but you're easily taken advantage of. That's what I think of you. And she said, would you take advantage of me? And I said, no. And she said, would you want me? I said, I want you in my life. She said, like, what do you mean? I said, like, present, available. I want to be your friend, But what if I can't be friends with you? What if I want to be more? And I said, Maria, I know you well enough to give it a shot, but you need to heal right now. She said you would take a shot, blah, blah, blah. I said, yes, I would. I feel very comfortable around you, which is rare for a girl. So I would give it a shot, as in like go on a date with you, like whatever. I would do that with any girl I'm close with. And then she goes like, okay, I was testing you. And she goes like, oh, he knew you'd want me. He's very smart. He's such a smart guy. And then she called me desperate. And I said, what do you mean? She said like, oh, you'd date any of your fucking friends. And I said, well, I've rejected people before, but look, when I feel close to someone, I just don't mind going on a date with them. Dates are playful. They're not serious. It is not an admission of attraction. It's just like, hey, I'm close to you and I trust you. I would go on a date with you. Like, I met this girl at a bus stop and she was really cool, and I went to Snowball with her a few weekends ago. Because why the fuck not? Right? It was just fun. And then she fucking blocked me. Like, I've known her for so fucking long. And for her to block me over that, like, so fucking disrespectful. Okay, anyways, that's it. Might talk about it later. See ya.